Kadlick, which is the Shedeur Sanders workout with the New York Giants. Eli Goose says, who would want to trade with us is the question, though. Maybe back to the Steelers to jump the Saints for Shedeur. So Shedeur is an interesting one here, as he always has been in this class, just like his teammate Travis Hunter. But him being that second quarterback, but also sort of separating from Cam Ward. There was times where people thought Sanders versus Ward would be the number one pick. Now it seems like Sanders is sliding a little bit. The Giants are working him out in Colorado. I want to say this week, if not early next week. So there seems to be more intrigue there at the third overall pick. But they're also doing work on Jalen Milroe and Tyler Shuck, which tells me that this is more of a, if Sanders starts to fall, maybe we trade into the first round and go get that guy. I do also wonder if there is some back and forth, a split within the Giants, whether it's ownership, whether it's GM, Joe Shane, Brian Daboll butting heads. Some people want Sanders, some people don't, and it kind of probably depends on where they actually want to take him. But if the Patriots could trade back, is there a chance that it is for the Steelers? Is it a chance it's for the Saints, who maybe the Saints want to jump, the Las Vegas Raiders, who have a connection with Sanders? Brady and Sanders have worked out together in the past. And yeah, they did just sign Geno to an extension, but they also need a quarterback for the future. So there's a ton of moving parts. Long story short, your thoughts on this question, plus Shedeur Sanders and where he kind of slides into this draft class.
Yeah, we could end up with a situation where we thought that Shedeur Sanders getting drafted would work for the Patriots because they get a Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. If that's not realistically on the table, then yeah, I think a really great situation for the Patriots would be getting some more picks for some team that really does want to get Shedeur. And as much as I do like Will Campbell, I really have resigned to the fact that he's probably going to be the pick. I don't have any sources or anything. It just feels like it makes way too much sense at this point. Like, truly, I would be not stunned, but pretty surprised if it wasn't Will Campbell. But at the same time, they went back to 9. Like they said, there's players on the board and starting tackles, at least, in this draft. Ozzie Trapillo, he's probably more of a right tackle. That's not a great option. But Donovan Jackson is someone who really showed he could hang at left tackle, went all the way to the National Football Championship and won. And now Dane Brugler has him in the beast as a left tackle, which was kind of one of the things I was curious about as one of the things you get later in the process as Nuggets kind of start to dwindle away. And obviously like Membu if he slides or whatever, but that is really a potential best case scenario that you could get if you don't end up in a position to get a Travis Hunter or an Abdul Carter. Hey, you end up just getting, not a king's ransom, I'm not going to get crazy about it, but if some team really does think that Shedeur can be future face of their franchise, then maybe you end up benefiting from it, but also I would love to spread some propaganda and be like, oh, the Giants, you like Shedeur?
Right.
To dinner? You got the expensive steak? I don't know if he's old enough to drink wine, but
I mean, it's one of those things where it feels. I'm excited for the draft, but I also can't wait for it to be over. Like yesterday, all the insiders, the Pelisseros, the Schefter rap sheet, all at the same time, they all tweet that there's a New York Giants workout with Sanders, and like, it's this breaking thing that comes from the agent. It's a huge deal, whether that's to bump the draft stock, whether that's to help the Giants, who knows? But like, even when you were just talking about the Ozzie Trapillo, is he a left tackle? Is he a right tackle? Is Armand Membu a right tackle, left tackle? Will Campbell, are his arms like, I just kind of can't wait for it to be over and just see where this team is eventually. But at the same time, the Sanders thing is interesting. You mentioned the trade up and the King's ransom. We just talked about it with Carter. If it's for Sanders, I feel like there's more of a chance that you do get more because you can kind of bump the price if it's a quarterback. Now, you can also only bump that price if there are other teams.
This ain't the usual quarterback tax.
Exactly.
It's not the usual top of the draft.
Right. There might not be other teams looking, so it could just be a one and done. This is what you're going to get. If not, we'll wait, and nobody else is going to need to go up, and we can just sit and pick anyway. But the Sanders workout mixed with the news last week, which I don't think maybe we touched it on this show, the Friday AMA. I forget what time we did it versus when it broke. But Derek Carr looks like he might not be able to play at all this season for the Saints. So they now have that need at number 9.
Which I saw people saying like, oh, they're going to get Shedeur. But I kind of agreed more with the people that were saying, good, now you can tank for real. You have every incentive to just load up the rest of your roster, get the best players for whatever quarterback falls to you because you're probably going to get the top pick because the Saints are in cap hell. Anybody who says cap is crap, the first team everybody points to is the Saints. It's like, yeah, you can ignore it if you want, but they don't have an owner who's willing to spend the amount of money it takes to truly call the cap crap, and they aren't forward thinking enough. Like the Eagles, where they have like Howie Roseman.
Howie Roseman, yeah.
I don't know. I got him confused with somebody else for a second. But like someone like Howie Roseman who knows how TV works, and he understands, oh, we're about to get a huge deal. I can put all this money into 2027 because the cap is going to shoot up, and all this dead money is not going to mean anything because I'm basically going to have a reset. And so you could maybe see them benefiting from that kind of thing if they just decide to completely lose out. But then you're looking at, oh God, the cats are back. Dude, yesterday my cats were all over the place. They were both just like fighting and stuff back here. It was a trip.
Oh my God.
Lost my train of thought. But I wouldn't be so quick to think that the Derek Carr injury means that the Saints are going to trade up for a quarterback. It could mean that they are just like, you know what? I don't love these quarterbacks, and this is the opportunity we have to truly reset the franchise in a way that they desperately need to, because they are just one of the most tone-deaf teams in football. It's alarming. I would leave the beat if the Patriots turn into the Saints. Truly, I would. It's insufferable.
You're right about the cap is crap versus not crap crowd, and like it. Again, it's one of those things. You said it. You need money to front, and you can circumvent it if you have ownership who's willing to do it, and a smart GM, and they've kind of just kicked the can and not been able to recover from it. So you're right. They are in that cap hell. Plus the Derek Carr thing. It feels like you're right. Maybe it's not take the quarterback, but rather let's reset this thing and really kind of fix this. New head coach. I know Loomis is still there as the GM, but we'll see what happens. But there is definitely intrigue around the Sanders thing and what the Giants are doing in general, because it's clear that they are doing some quarterback homework, even though they have signed Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson so far this offseason.
Just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Head over to Game Time and use code CLNS. You get $20 off your first purchase. You can see the Red Sox. They're opening up next week. Patriots back here in Gillette Stadium. Could be good this year. Stephon Diggs just signed. So fun times down here in Foxboro. And if you want to get to a game again, head over to our friends at Game Time. Use that code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Today we're looking at the most QB-friendly third down back options in this year's draft class, with an eye towards adding versatility and reliability to the Patriots running back room. Arizona State's Cam Skadabo is one of the most beloved prospects in this draft, and he earned it with the highlight and accolade-filled final season. The 23-year-old was named a first-team All-American in 2024, 2 years after being named Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year while at Sacramento State. Skadabo wins with excellent vision and contact balance, as well as tone-setting physicality and rare versatility. Not only did he contribute as a rusher, receiver, and blocker, but he also threw passes, punted, and has experience on kickoff coverage. Skadabo's well-rounded skill set was on full display during his offensive MVP performance in the Peach Bowl against Texas. He ran for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on 30 carries, with his longest carry going for 33 yards. He also caught 8 passes for 99 yards, including a long of 62, and threw some strong blocks in pass protection. Skadabo even caught a deep pass off a double move while aligned outside the numbers, and he threw a 42-yard touchdown pass. Concerns around Skadabo include his long speed, his 10 fumbles over the past 3 seasons, and inconsistency in pass protection. He needs to be more accurate as a blocker and work smarter, not harder, to eliminate threats. And while his running style is easy to love, scouts do fear that it could lead to some unnecessary punishment at the next level, which would be pretty damaging considering all the tread that's already on his tires. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to become members of Patriots Press Pass here on YouTube for more breakdowns just like this, as well as a ton of other great bonus content.